Coming up on ATV News.
Would you vote for this third-party candidate? We'll show you how his presidential hopes look in Utah.
We'll show you Utah State's new plan to prevent sexual assault on campus.
West Nile virus cases have doubled in Utah. We'll show you how a local lab is helping out.
USU basketball showcased their new recruits. I'll show you who's looking hot for the season coming up in sports.
Headed out for fall break? We'll let you know if the weather's better north or south coming up.
All that and more. This is ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Mark Rosa.
And I'm Brock Damjanovic. Across the nation, people have become familiar with the Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump, but Utah Independent candidate Evan McMullin has caught up in Utah.
A poll conducted by YouGov.com says it's almost a tie with Trump at 30%, McMullin at 29%, and Clinton at 28%. Our Ben Nielsen takes us to McMullin's town hall here in Logan.
People flocked to Mount Logan Middle School, filling the auditorium. Well, overflowing the auditorium, just so they could see Evan McMullin. But even though plenty of people showed up to hear him speak, a lot of USU students still don't know much about him.
I know that he's running for president, and that is about it.
I don't know too much about him, to be honest. I don't even know what party specifically he's in.
And those that did know didn't really know much else.
I don't know a lot about his policies.
He's running for president. I know that he's Mormon and he's from Utah and he doesn't want Trump or Clinton to win.
I believe he was the director of policy in the House of Representatives, and he had something to do with the CIA.
But even though people don't know McMullin, they might vote for him anyway.
I don't really like Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, so I'm kind of looking for another option.
I don't care for either of the candidates we have, so I'll probably vote for him.
I feel like a lot of people from Utah will vote for him just because he's Mormon, just like a lot of people are voting for Trump just because he's Republican. So I don't know. I don't know if he has a chance anywhere else.
But that might not matter, because even though on a national level,
the chances of him winning,
yeah, they're pretty slim. But here's what would happen if he took Utah. Utah has 6 electoral votes, and McMullin winning those could prevent either Trump or Hillary from getting their required 270 electoral votes. If that happens, the vote would then go to the House of Representatives, which is made up mostly of Republicans. But seeing as how lots of Republicans have denounced Trump, there is a chance they could vote for McMullin. Ben Nielsen, ATV News.
If McMullin wins Utah, he'll be the first third-party candidate to take a state since 1968.
Even with McMullin dominating the media in Utah, Donald Trump and Hillary are continuing to campaign in the swing states in the 3 weeks leading up to this election. Donald Trump held his most recent rally in Colorado Springs, where he talked about military service, job security, and his view that the media is corrupt. He tweeted Monday, "Journalists shower Hillary Clinton with campaign cash," saying that 96% of money donated to campaigns by journalists went to Clinton. At his rally in Colorado, he had more to say to his supporters about the media.
We have to help our country. It is under siege in so many ways. By the way, you could almost say, especially from the dishonest media, that's for sure.
Hillary Clinton also held rallies in Colorado, where she turned her focus to voter registration and mail-in ballots. Clinton encouraged her supporters to register and get their mail-in ballot in on time, and to get every person they know to turn out and vote.
I think Americans want to turn out in as big a number as possible to reject the dark and divisive and hateful campaign that is being run by my opponent.
Averages the 5 most recent national polls has Hillary in the lead with 47% and Donald trailing behind with 39%. The election comes up November 8th.
Former USU linebacker Torrey Green is behind bars today in Logan. Officials transferred Green to Cache County Jail on Monday. Green was charged with 4 counts of rape, 1 count of kidnapping, and aggravated sexual assault. According to the Cache County Attorney's Office, there are 9 victims in total. Green was a student and a linebacker during his time at USU. He was signed to a free agent contract but was let go this summer. Green's initial court appearance is scheduled for October 25th at Utah 1st District Court at 10 a.m. If found guilty, Green faces life in prison.
Utah State President Stan Albrecht says he's working hard to prevent sexual violence on campus. Student and faculty got an email from the president Friday morning describing his plan to counteract sexual assault. The email outlined the official formation of several committees that will be working on solutions and overall prevention. These groups include the Sexual Violence Task Force that will design a plan for prevention. The Prevention Education and Training Working Group will include bystander training and student education. The Policy and Processes Working Group will investigate and handle complaints. The Campus Climate and Survey Working Group will monitor campus attitudes related to sexual assault. And the Implementation and Coordinating Committee will be responsible for all communication regarding these efforts. Albrecht also mentioned other projects already underway, including the Consent Is campaign you've probably seen across campus.
One high school student is taking a different approach to combat sexual assault. She's literally fighting it. ATV's Amy Kobabe is live to show us how. Amy?
Thanks, Mark. If you've ever walked alone on campus and felt scared, Takaya Nish is trying to help you. She's a senior Girl Scout and a yellow belt in karate. And to earn her Gold Award, which is kind of like the the Boy Scouts Eagle Project, she's decided to combine the two. Here, Nish shows how to fend off a would-be attacker. Although these techniques help, Nish and her teacher say the best thing to do when defending yourself is to have confidence and know you're stronger than you think. She says fighting is a way to really give yourself a fighting chance.
It's not 100% reliable, it's not for sure gonna save you, but it's still nice to be able to have a shot and be able to try and save yourself rather than just sitting there not knowing what to do.
Nish held a class on campus, but no one came. Her next class is tonight at 7 at the Student Lunchroom Center. Back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Amy. When we come back, find out how a local graphic artist is changing lives for children in Kenya.
The USU Farmers Market is closed for the winter, where you can find fresh produce now. Coming up.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
West Nile virus is hitting Utah harder this year than in years past. A lab on campus is trying to help. This lab studies mosquitoes. The research done here could help Utah with the growing cases of West Nile virus.
We do have almost twice as many number of human cases in Utah than we had last year and in years prior.
The lab tests mosquitoes' resistance to insecticides. Because there is not yet a vaccine for West Nile, the option is to reduce the mosquito population. It continues through November or until the first frost.
If you shopped at the USU Farmers Market, you got to be a part of a unique campus experience. I took a trip to the market to show you how successful it really was. The USU Farmers Market was the first ever chance for vendors as young as JC.
He is our little mascot and our little youngest farmer here.
To sell directly to students on campus.
We weren't sure how this market would go, but it's actually been really successful.
It's paid for all my activities like scout camp, and I did marching band.
It helps our farm, it helps the college students, it's a perfect combination.
It's also paid for my mission and hopefully some towards college, I don't know.
But this all had to start somewhere.
I wrote a grant through the Blue Goes Green grant program, so it comes from student fees.
I love their double up bucks programs. I would have killed for that in college.
You can get your produce, your grocery shopping for 50% off here. It's the cheapest you can get it. It's also the healthiest, local.
I think it's important that people become more aware of where their food is coming from because we're losing a lot of our farmland.
This farmers market prides itself on being sustainable. In fact, the camera that you're watching this through is currently plugged into a solar panel they let me use. This use of natural products is something that makes this farmers market unique.
We are certified organic.
Our apple cider is made fresh. There's no sugar, no preservatives, no additives.
We compost whatever we don't sell if we're not eating it.
The millennials are really into the sustainable, healthy products.
You guys filter it at all or anything?
We filter the bug parts out, but that's it.
We use cornstarch bags instead of plastic bags.
You have Alfredo sauce, which has dairy. Raw Alfredo sauce has no dairy. It's made out of cashews.
Half the time you look at all the stuff next to you and you just need to take it home with you and try it out.
And that variety of products was a hit.
The cider we've bought almost every week, and really I feel like we bought stuff from all of the foods here.
While this market is done for the season, you do still have options.
In the off season, we just pretty much get ready for the full season. We still have our vinegars. We're still going to different markets and stuff like that.
We're a natural wellness business downtown Logan.
You can go to the Cache Valley Market. But after that, it's really hard to find and buy local produce in Logan because it gets so cold that nobody can grow anything.
So the USU Farmers Market will hibernate through the winter, while the farms get to reflect on another good season's end.
Oh, I think it's turned out lovely. I really like it that somebody took it upon themselves to make this a reality because it's not every campus that gets to have something like this, and I just think that it's turned out really great.
You've heard of the Galaxy Note 7 catching fire. Now the phone is facing another setback, this time from the Federal Aviation Administration. They ruled that bringing one of the faulty phones on an airplane is now a federal crime. The order bans the phone on planes, whether carried on or in a checked bag. If you get caught with the phone, you could face a fine of close to $180,000. Airlines are required to deny boarding to a passenger with the phone.
When we come back, ATV's Emily Duke will have your Cache Valley weather report.
The current temperature in Logan is 51 degrees.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment, and that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
The weather has been kind of all over the place lately.
Yeah, yesterday I was stuck inside all day, but apparently it rained.
Yeah, it rained, there was a little bit of snow. I always have been told that if you hate the weather in Utah, just wait 5 minutes, it'll change. It felt a little bit like that. But before we get to weather, there was something that happened this weekend that was really cool that I want to show you guys. All right, so if you look here, this is, on this side, the Hunter's Moon. It was the first of 3 supermoons that are going to be happening in 2016. So if you missed this one last weekend, there were a lot of clouds, there's going to be more. So the one on November 14th is going to be the closest that the moon has ever been to the Earth in a century. And then in December 14th, it's going to be happening the same time as a meteor shower. The moon's a little bright, so it'll block out some of the meteors, but kind of cool that it's happening at the same time. I know. Emily, we came here for weather. Okay, let's get to some weather. Okay, so here is our national radar. So basically, if you don't know what national radar does, it shows kind of all the energy and things that are going on in the atmosphere. So all these blue blips that may look really scary could just be wind and a lot of clouds maybe, but not necessarily rain. But when we get into the green, that's when you're going to have rain. So these people here in the Midwest are going to be getting some storms, some precipitation, rain, snow. If you're going to be traveling for fall break, I recommend you head southeast because it's going to be beautiful. They're experiencing record high temperatures for this time of year. They're going to have upwards of 80s, 90s during the day, and even at night, it's going to be just as nice. They're going to be like 60s and 70s. So if you can't travel, I know it sucks, but Utah, still going to be very pretty. So, as I told you before, there's a couple blips, but nothing really to worry about because they're just some clouds, some wind. It's so nice. If we look at our temperatures for around here, like seriously guys, look at this. I mean, Logan, 43, that's not Logan. Logan is 52. I did that earlier. Logan's 52, Salt Lake 55. Even at night, it's gonna get cold, guys. So make sure if you're gonna be outside, wear a jacket, but 37, 33, 28 in Logan, not bad. So, moving on, today it is gorgeous. It's crisp, cool, just a couple of clouds, 51 degrees, a little bit high humidity for my taste. I prefer my air very dry, seriously, bone dry. But it's nice, it's really quite nice. We've got our 7-day forecast coming up for you. Look at that. So, like I said, it's going to be nice and sunny. We have a couple of clouds today, not much, so mostly sunny. And then coming into the weekend, you will see clouds, but I mean, 64. You can't complain about 64 in the fall, guys. 64 is nice. You can wear a jacket, you can go outside. There's going to be football going on, so if you're stuck here in Logan for fall break, you have the football game coming up. I am a huge football fan. Everybody here on ATV knows it. And the weather could not be more perfect. A little cold, given a little cold because it's going to be late. So 41, I mean the high's 52, low of 28, but only a 2% chance of rain. So the game's not going to get rained out. That's great. And it should be lovely. So we had a lot of awesome things going on in weather. There was no football this week, unfortunately. There was a bye. But this week there will be football and there was a lot of other sports going on. So Morgan, what else did we have going on?
Thanks, Emily. Pretty sure that was the cutest little weather report I've ever seen. Coming up, I'll show you which two Aggie sports teams broke their winning streaks, and Utah State basketball had their first night under the lights. I'll bring you that preview after this.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.com.
Are you frustrated with your major?
I'm done.
Do you wish your professors were more available to you? Do you wish your dreams of appearing on television would come true? We have the solution for you. Broadcast journalism offers hands-on experience, one-on-one assistance, and the opportunity to work with ATV News. Join the JCOM family today.
Welcome back. The men's USU hockey team broke their 5-game winning streak on Saturday in a 5-2 loss against the University of Utah. During the first 2 minutes of the game, Utah scored a penalty shot, and from there on out, Aggies just couldn't recover. Aggies tried to score, but the Utes goalie blocked shot after shot after shot. But until Brett Fernandez scored a goal against the U's nationally ranked goalie, Chris Coma. Utes are ranked in the Division I for the American Collegiate Hockey Association, and USU is ranked in Division II. The next USU hockey game is against BYU on October 28th. Utah State women's volleyball won in a 3-1 victory over New Mexico on Thursday night, but USU's volleyball winning streak came to an end once they faced off against UNLV and lost 3-2. They'll face off against San Diego State on Thursday. USU men's and women's and basketball teams had their first scrimmage of the season Friday night at the Spectrum. The lights turned on and the recruits were showcased. Aggie fans showed their support for women's and men's basketball team as Primetime Madness kicked off Friday night. newcomer Eliza Wright. She's right here handling the ball. She's actually one of 3 new Australian players, and her coach says she was the star of the night because of how often she passes.
She's going to make players around her look better. She's a pass-first player.
As for the men's team, the head coach says the scrimmage was a chance to unite the team.
It's a close group, probably the closest group so far that we've had in 4 or 5 years here. They really enjoy each other.
The first men's game will be against Southern Virginia on November 4th, and the first women's basketball game will be November 6th against Colorado State. Both of them will be home games. USU football plays Fresno State Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. at home. And now we're going out to Kaylin Taylor to chat about USU's rugby teams.
Hey Morgan, I'm out here on the quad trying to figure out how to best kick a rugby ball. All right, that was probably one of my best kicks ever. If you want to see more of that, we've actually got 2 teams here at Utah State that are way better than that, the men's and the women's rugby teams, and both of them were in action last weekend. The women played first against Boise State, and then after that, the men took on Colorado State.
We were in a very good motion of having the attack, and then when we switched to defense, we couldn't keep that rhythm.
Thanks to runs like this, USU was up 28-12 at the half, but the Broncos came bucking back in the second.
The first half was awesome. We were connecting passes and stuff. But the second half, I think we just got a little tired. I mean, we fought till the end, as hard as we could.
Despite being worn down, the Aggies held on to the lead until the last play of the game. That's when this field goal gave Boise State the win.
The Utah State women's rugby team lost on a last-second kick to Boise State. But did things go any better for the men's team?
It did go better, for the first half anyways. With a few quick tries like this, the Aggies led 15-12 after one half. But that changed after the break.
They kept capitalizing on our little mistakes that we were making.
Those mistakes led to scores like this.
2 of their tries were just up the middle real fast, and that should never happen in rugby. That mistake was the difference in the score, really.
Down more than 3 scores, Utah State finally broke through the defense and got on the board in the second half, but it wasn't enough to complete a comeback.
So both of the coaches said that they're going to try and work on positioning and conditioning for their next games. Back to you in the studio, Morgan.
Thanks, Kaylin. So, you know what? I was really impressed by all of the climbing up to catch the ball. That was super impressive. What are things that USU's rugby teams do well?
Sure. Well, one thing is most of the players are entirely new, so the coaches are really impressed with their ability just to pick.
Thanks, Kaylin. Back to Mark and Brock at the desk.
Sorry about some of those audio issues, folks, but when we come back, a USU student won more than just the Aggie Talent Show.
And we'll tell you why you might not have heard about a local film festival. Coming up.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she does strange tricks for no treats. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
New wall art. You could also be helping children in Africa get an education. Our Tess Griffith.
Here at the Bright Star School in Nairobi, Kenya, children greet their visitors by singing a song of welcome. The children sing the words Hakuna Matata, or don't worry. But some of these kids aren't getting what they need, and one Cache Valley woman wants to change that.
For a long time, I've just always wanted to do something with some kind of nonprofit organization.
Last summer, Humphrey spent a month volunteering in Nairobi, and this is where her idea, Art for Kenya, was born. And with her art, Humphreys is raising money so children and teens in Kenya can get an education. Her art is put on her Etsy shop online, and if my drawings were better, I could even donate it to be sold. But Humphreys already has a willing donor.
I have my art, but like, what do I do with it? So when Natalie told me about her project, Art for Kenya, I thought it was a great opportunity to donate.
Humphrey says she hopes the art will help people feel more willing to donate.
Through art, I feel like you're also taking a piece of it home and you're able to see it and say, oh wow, I helped, by buying that piece of art, I helped somebody get to school and I helped somebody fight against poverty.
Tess Griffith, ATV News.
If you want to buy artwork or know more about the project, there's a link on our Facebook page.
All right, Mark, now this is pretty cool. So if you're going to the Howl, I've been there once, haven't gone back. I got married, so yeah, I mean, you can't blame me. Now I'm lazy. But you might see a winner of the Aggie Talent Show performing.
I'm feeling pretty pumped, honestly. I didn't expect to win. There was a lot of really good talents.
So Bell started out his act with some of his newest tricks, but the crowd really went wild when he pulled out his glow-in-the-dark yo-yo. Two magic acts took second and third place. A pair of brothers wowed the crowd when one of them coughed up a card from his duct-taped mouth. Another student was able to make a card appear in a girl's hands in the place of another card she'd been holding. Coordinators said the show did not disappoint.
They exceeded expectations. They were unreal, and it just shows like how many people at USU have such amazing talents that they need to share.
So if you'd like the chance to see Eric Bell in action, he will be performing at the Howl on October 29th.
USU hosted the Real Rock Film Festival to bring the spirit of climbing to the valley. But this year's stop in Logan almost didn't get off the ground. Action like this is sure to get your heart pounding and your adrenaline rushing. On Monday, USU's outdoor program and Outdoor Industry Students Association hosted the Real Rock Film Festival to inspire students to seek that adrenaline rush for themselves.
Real Rock is the ultimate film for getting you excited to get outside.
And to bring climbers from different walks of life together.
If you catch the climbing bug, it doesn't matter really what your background is. You've got the full-blown heathens with the full-blown saints in there, and I think that's pretty cool.
Real Rock is an annual international film tour featuring short rock climbing and mountaineering documentaries. At this year's stop in Logan, the audience saw 5 of the most intense climbing films produced this year. The festivities also included a raffle of climbing gear donated by local businesses.
USU has historically hosted a stop on the Real Rock Tour. But this year, with the event just a week away, organizers still hadn't heard back from Real Rock with the final go-ahead.
2.5 weeks ago that we started flooding social media because it seemed like it was for sure.
But by the time they heard back from Real Rock, it was too late to advertise for the festival the way the organizers originally planned.
That was a little stressful. There was not time for like the regular traditional advertising.
Despite the short notice, organizers say the screening of Real Rock 11 brought 200 to 300 people to the TSC auditorium.
We were hoping to get 500 people here, but with 6 days, I think we did okay.
Organizers say Real Rock will be back in Logan next year as long as everything goes according to their plan. Well, Brock, I got to tell you, I'm really glad that they were able to get it together because the film was amazing.
Well, that was impressive. I saw you rock climbing on there. We got to go sometime.
Oh yeah,
maybe you can get me in shape. Thanks for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
Catch all the latest editions of ATV News on our Facebook page.
And join us next week for our Halloween edition of Cash Rendezvous.
Have a great day, Aggies.